Hi there, it's Coach Ian from Jim Wolf PT, and it's a warm welcome to my Imperfect Fitness Part 1, because there's going to be a few parts to this. So those who know me, I'm a 47-year-old business owner, dad of 3, global fitness coach, and I mainly train busy entrepreneurs and CEOs and professionals. And like I say, my fitness isn't perfect, hence the title. And that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss things you can put in place to improve your health and fitness without it taking over your life, without it taking over and being the be-all and end-all of everything. So this is part 1, so there'll be a lot more to come, but I'm going to give you some tips on how you can put things into your lifestyle that will make long-term massive changes without changing your priorities in life. So bear with me. First live I've done for a while. So first of all, I just want to say this is being streamed to a number of platforms at the same time. If you do have any questions, feel free to fire them over, message. I won't be answering them as I'm going along. I'll try and answer some at the end, and if not, after the event's finished, I'll jump on any questions then and answer them. So bear with me. Let me do my spiel. Let me talk about my imperfect fitness, and then we can chat about anything you want. So my fitness and my health, for 47, it's good, but it's also imperfect. And I see a lot of people out there who are struggling, and I mean really struggling. And a big part of it is, not every part, but a big part of it is health and fitness and often mindset. And whilst it's easy for everyone, the gurus out there and the motivational speakers, to say, you own it, it's you, it's all you, it's not often all your fault. There's a lot of things out there that are misleading, confusing, overwhelming, stressing. And we're going to look at some of those. And when you've got a busy schedule, when you're short of time, you've got commitments coming from all angles, and then you're looking to improve, but there's confusing and contradictory advice, particularly on the internet, because there's no one monitoring it really, and there's never-ending pressures. There's people judging you probably from numerous angles, and there's requirements on you, and things suffer. And as a result, a lot of people, the nutrition habits are poor. They end up doing things to higher levels that they probably shouldn't do. So drinking alcohol, drugs, I'm not saying having alcohol at all is a bad thing, but if you're drinking to higher levels consistently, that's obviously a bad thing. And as a result, stress levels are high, people are struggling to sleep. And despite being part of the fitness industry and being a big part of the fitness industry, I do feel it really helps a lot of the time. It pushes out things there. You know, you go on Instagram, places like that, and you're seeing things that are either perfection. Someone who obviously is spending every waking hour doing something related to health and fitness as their job, putting over, oh, just do this and you'll be like me, or starvation tactics, or depriving yourself of, yes, this is the way to do it, cut this and this out, and you'll get to there. All these things muddy the waters. And then the celebrities and influencers who are out there pushing stuff, and some are good, but a lot of them, they'll either not be using the products they're pushing at all, or if they are, it's alongside the detailed regimented routine. It's not the supplements or the product or the piece of fitness equipment that they're pushing that's getting them where they were or where they are. It's everything they do alongside that. The product usually is a little bit irrelevant. And then there's another thing that I see a lot is fitness coaches who become narrow-minded. And what I mean by that is they are pushing the route of only this happens, only this works, only this works. You see a lot of things like keto, and people calling themselves keto diets. The keto diet is the only way you can lose fat. Really? Is that really the case? The fundamentals to nutrition stay the same. The vehicles that we use to get these fundamentals in place vary, and keto is just a vehicle. And well, some people might swear by it, and I have no problem really with it short term. It's just a vehicle, and I don't see it as a long-term vehicle. Would you really want to be cutting out all fruits, pasta, rice, bread all the time, not having any alcohol, not having anything processed whatsoever? Probably not, but some people may. But like I say, a lot of coaches, they pick a route, or they pick a side, the dark side or the light side, and they push and push on that, and they won't hear anything against it, and everything about it is perfect. That's not the case. And then you see people pushing, which I hope you would notice as being a fad, the 5-minute shreds, or the 3-minute abs, or the whatever there is. There's so many names for them. And again, I'm not saying these things have no value at all, because if you literally are doing 0 exercise and you then go to doing 5 minutes exercise a day, it's progress, it's an improvement. But let's be real about it. The people who are pushing these and they come on with the 6-packs and things, and others doing 5 minutes, and they're paying a lot of attention to nutrition and everything else. So yeah, again, the internet, it's a global thing. Fitness particularly, it's not really regulated in what people can claim. Certain places are, but a lot of the time people get around it with the wording. Really look into these things. If they appeal to you, and I get it, the people who are pushing them have spent a lot of time to make them appeal to you and your pain points. So be aware of that. Look into it. Don't just jump and say, oh yeah, this guy's telling me I can do it in 5 minutes, 3 days a week. Let's do that. I'll get that in 6 weeks' time. I'm looking great. It's not going to happen. And then there's a real trend, which has been going on a long time, for selling sexy, or sexy selling. And that's where people sell products, but they use really attractive for people who have got a physique that you might really think, oh, that's just amazing, or whatever, to push things. And some people might say, I use that tactic. No, I'm 47, I'm rugged faced, I'm not, I'm certainly no Brad Pitt, so I don't think I do. But some things are completely over top. They find the top models or whatever, hate them so much, say, right, yeah, you say you've been on our plan, or you say you've been using our product, and I'll sell it, and they're the face of it. Are they really the face of it, or are they just being paid? They're being paid for it. And then there's also PTs out there, and I get it to some degree, because you don't want to point out the negatives all the time, but there's some PTs who really falsely describe what is needed. It's like, yeah, look at this body transformation. Johnny found it super easy to do this, or yes, he didn't have to give up this, and this. Yeah, he might have had to give it up, but they probably have had to narrow in how much they were having, and they sort of paper over what is needed to have extreme body transformations. And I'll go on about that in a couple of slides' time. But there's a lot of people out there, and again, I get it. Unfortunately, in this day and age, the best marketers usually do the best in the fitness industry, in most industries. So a lot of the time, people who are new into the business focus 99% on marketing and 1% on the product. When in fact, there's some unbelievable coaches out there who don't know how to market and are really struggling. And to me, you've got to get that balance right. I try to market myself pretty well, and I also spend a lot of time on developing my programs, listening to feedback, changing things where required, not jumping into changing things, but looking at real feedback, real results, real things that could be doing better, and we change them. We don't jump into it, but we make changes over time, and it's something I'm doing now, which I'll talk about again in the future. So yeah, the fitness industry unfortunately really helps. Right, this was my imperfect fitness. So let's talk about that. And again, it's part one, so there'll be more to come of these videos. But look at the left. That is me in supposing perfect fitness. And the other side is me, how I am now. I've got a bit more stubble on me, but in what I'd class as imperfect fitness. And the perfect fitness there was a few years back. We're in my early 40s. I've done this a number of times, but to get to that shape at that time, I was having 0 alcohol for 12 weeks. At times, so my wife tells me I was very moody because of the extremities that I were putting in place. Was I depriving myself? Yes. I wasn't going out with friends in them 12 weeks very much. I certainly wasn't drinking or going out for meals. I wasn't having any treats in the main. Particularly the last 4 weeks of it was really intense. I was eating the same foods over and over again, foods that I sort of like, but they can get boring when you're having them day in, day out. And despite me having a lot of protein, the way I had to shift things did see me have energy dips. I had some spikes, I had some dips. So that's what a lot of people, when you go on social media and look at things, will class as perfect fitness. This is what you want, this is what you need, this is, if you get this, all your problems are away, you're amazing and you'll feel great. I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure about that at all. Could you do it once or twice? Maybe if you're that way inclined. Would you want to do it, be like that all the time? Definitely not. And then the other side, the imperfect. Like I said, this is me in general. And what it is the main thing is about moderation. Do I drink alcohol? Yes, sometimes. And sometimes I do go a little bit overboard, but in the main, it's in moderation. Do I eat fast food, junk food? Sometimes, yeah. Occasionally. Probably a bit more than occasionally, maybe every week. Do I have some snacks, chocolate bars? I quite like chocolate. Yes, I do, but it's in moderation. Am I relaxed about what I'm doing in terms of my training, in terms of my eating, in terms of my water intake? Yes, I am. I'm quite relaxed at that time, but when I'm in imperfect, which is now. Am I energized? Absolutely, I'm energized. I know the keys to being energized. I know it's the links to it and how you get energized. And it is not caffeine and it is not carbs. It's something different. And if you get that right, absolute game changer. And it gives you energy. I tend to get up 5 a.m. I train early morning. I go to bed 10 to 10:30. I'm energized. I'm energized through them times. Naturally, as the night goes on, I go tighter. That's how it's meant to be. So, but I'm energized. Do I feel healthy? In the main, yeah. I feel pretty healthy. Again, I'm 47. I have aches and pains. My hair's starting to go grey. I've got wrinkles there. I'm not in the fountain of youth. I'm not in, like I say, cover model shape 24/7, but I'm healthy and I'm happy. I'm happy with that most of the time. Again, will I do another transformation soon? Maybe. I sometimes go into a phase, I think, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I probably will. But it's not the general time. The general time I spend is in imperfection mode. And I like that. So I jump forward. So what I was going to ask was, what do you want? What do you want right now? If you want perfect, and again, I would give that real thought, but some people do in the short term think, right, I want to do that. I want to do a competition. I want to do a photo shoot. I want to get in the best shape I can for a holiday. But if you want to do that, you can do that. There's obviously ways to do that. But don't be fooled, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. It's not, yeah, you just still go out at weekend. It's not, yeah, still have your takeaways. Yeah, it is strict if you want to do that properly. And if you do, message me. I can help you with that. I can tell you the pitfalls. I can tell you what to do. I can help you in any advice. I can even do your program. Whatever you want, I can do. But then if you want to have what I call imperfect fitness, and if you've already got that, great. But if you haven't, and what I mean by that is you're a busy woman or man, you are got commitments galore, you've got kids or you've got a business, you've got both, you've got relationships going on, you've got everything you have to keep going, but you don't feel healthy, you don't feel energized, you don't feel fit, you don't look at yourself in the mirror and think, yeah, I'm doing all right. If that's you and you want imperfect fitness, we can help you with this. And I'm going to give you 5 tips now in the next slides. And then part 2 is going to go into more detail on things as well. So here we go. The first one, probably the biggest. Well, not probably, it is. Whoever says otherwise, they're pushing an angle. Because nutrition, I hear a lot of people say it's 90% nutrition, 70% nutrition, it's 80% nutrition, the rest is workouts. I'm not going to argue over the percentage. It's high. Nutrition plays a massive part in you and your fitness, and particularly, well, in any kind of fitness, but in imperfect fitness. I think I've given this a wrong title. I'm struggling with imperfect. So, what are the basics of nutrition? I'm not going to go in and tell you all exactly what to do, but what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So the first thing is, it's easy to go on social media, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn tends not to be too bad, but still there's things on there that it's not moderated, and see things that are fad diets, extremities, slimming pills, things that are unrealistic or promise unrealistic results. And you'll see them every day because you'll be bombarded with them. And it's really tempting a lot of times to go, wow, I'm just trying to, the one at the moment, the injection to lose weight. And everyone's jumping on the back. Oh yeah, an injection to lose weight, like that's, wow, you could do something, just take an injection, lose weight. You could go into a hospital and have a barium tablet every day to clear you out and you lose weight. Is that what's wanted? And a lot of times there's not balance. People often look at fat loss and weight loss as health, but often the fat loss and weight loss plans and diets and fads are health loss as well. And what I mean like that is, yes, you lose the weight, but your health suffers as a result. So what I, as a coach, and what all good coaches should be looking at is, yes, getting you to your goal, if that goal is realistic and you understand what you have to do, what you don't have to do, and that goal then still appeals to you, then your coach or whoever's helping you should work to that. But likewise, they should always be working to it in a healthy way. And again, like I say, people go, oh, this diet, I can eat McDonald's and I'll lose weight. Well, you could eat a McDonald's meal once a day and nothing else. You'd lose weight because you'd be in a significant calorie deficit. But would you feel healthy? No. Would you feel energized? Absolutely not. Would it be good for your cells, your blood, your muscles? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So crazy extremities trying to just focus on one pain point. Someone wants to lose weight. They are stressed, upset, whatever, because they are overweight. And the fad diet plays on the part that, right, we'll just solve that problem you're really worried about. But then all the problems on the back of that, we're not going to discuss that. We're not going to look at that. So please, look at these diets and these claims and everything you see on social media and look at it properly and be realistic with yourself. And again, if you have any questions, if you see any of these diets and you want to run them past me, I'll give you my honest advice. And I will. If someone comes up with something and I say, yeah, well, that sounds reasonable, I'll tell you that. So yeah, do that. Track calories. And this is a big one because tracking calories to a high degree macros gets a bad name. And again, I understand that. Someone who's ever had eating disorders, anything like that, They should never be tracking. And likewise, someone who really doesn't want to track should never be forced to track. But whatever anyone says, what any coach, and again, this tends to be social media trying to sell something or whatever, if they say you can do this, but no tracking, you don't need to track, tracking's for losers, all this lot. If you don't have some data at some point, the element of guesswork goes through the roof. And I've seen this. I've trained more than 2,000 people across the world, and the number of people who come to me and say, Ian, I eat super healthy, but I put weight on every month, and we monitor it. Yeah, you do. You're eating healthy, but you're eating too much. Likewise, someone will say, I eat loads of protein. So, do you? Yeah, we eat loads of protein. Every day I'm having protein all the way through the day. We monitor it, and I go, you don't. And then I thought there was protein in bananas. I thought there was this. So many things. So having some data, and again, this isn't about tracking for weeks, years, months, years, anything like that. It's about, to me, there's ways to do it. And speak to any of my clients who we train it, we sometimes track intermittently, which is a good one for someone who really doesn't want to do it all the time. The benefits are massive. They really are. Prioritizing balanced meals. Again, sounds common sense. Well, common sense often isn't that common. And what I mean by balance, that's not, all right, you should have this food, this food, this food. It's to do with the macros. Balanced macros of protein and fats and carbs have massive benefits doing that way. All diets, like I say, and we mentioned the keto diet, which is basically the zero carbs diet. That is not a balanced diet, but why it works on short term is if you cut carbs out, two things happen. You are in a bigger calorie deficit usually, and it forces you towards protein. So for most people, getting a balanced diet works. And like I say, that should be something protein based that's giving you anything from 20 to 40%, 40%. And that can be things like chicken, turkey, most fish, egg whites, obviously supplements like whey, and then carbs, which again, anything from maybe 20 to 40, maybe even a bit higher depending on your goals or depending on how strict you want to be. What are carbs? Probably most of the things you're currently eating, because if you go into a supermarket and you ask me to say what's got highest in carbs, I'd be pointing everywhere, because most processed foods. And then fats, again, there's a lot of fatty foods. And fats, healthy fats, I mean, we need some fats. So avocado gets seen as a superfood. It's pretty much all healthy fats. So it's about getting that balance. So looking at getting a balance in your nutrition is super important. Just looking at the time, I need to crack on. I said half an hour on this, and I'm already 20 odd minutes in, so it might go a little bit over, but I hope you're enjoying it. And then the final thing is, for imperfect fitness, it has to be feasible. It has to be realistic. It has to be workable. So if you're working, you're running a business and you've meetings galore, and some coach says, right, yeah, you want to have a steak to this grammage, cooked to this, with this at this time, it might be feasible. It might be feasible, you might be able to get it meal prep, you might have your own personal chef, but it has to be workable, has to be feasible, it has to be realistic. So many times out there, people ruin the goals, really, don't achieve things because they're looking for that perfection, they're looking for that, they're seeing it all there out on social media saying, yeah, that person says I have to do this, and just try and get it on, then they go, can't do any of it. Can't do any of it because you don't have to do it all. Find what works for you, make it feasible, realistic and workable. And as soon as it doesn't become workable, make the changes that do. And that's key. So that's tip one with nutrition. Second tip, and you'll notice I'm speeding up a bit now, simplify your workouts. Like what I've just said about feasible and that. You go on social media or you see certain coaches, and they're like, yes, to work this anterior muscle here and this and this and this, you need to hang upside down and stretch this band out. Really? Really? Someone who's getting into it, or someone who's got other priorities or busy stress, do they really want to get stressed with this? No. We want to simplify it. We want to be effective with what we do. We want to do things the right way, but we don't want to complicate it. And for the majority of people, doing basic compound exercises, whether that's at the gym on machines or with weights, or whether that's at home doing squats, push-ups, planks, things like that, that is enough. That is enough for most people. Don't go into a gym and feel inferior when you see someone and they've got a couple of bands wrapped around the neck, one under the feet, and they're doing a pull-up, and you're thinking, I should be doing that, but I can't. Give over. I used to do upside down pull-ups and upside down dips, and I used to think I was clever. People used to look at me and go, who's this idiot? But again, if people copy me now, I just cringe at it. But yeah, make it simple. And again, if you are busy of time, what is the ideal amount of time to work out? Well, it's certainly not an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, unless you are an athlete in a certain discipline and really that is your life. Anything less than an hour, great. An hour, if you can, is a brilliant time mark if you're doing a good warm-up, cool down, and you're covering everything. But likewise, if you've not got an hour, a 15-20 minute blast of short, high intensity might be enough. It really might. And again, warm up and cool down are important, so I don't want you to overlook that. But doing something quickly, the right way, to the right intensity, can be enough. And I have clients, many clients who have different careers, businesses, and say to me, hey, that's all I've got, 3 days a week, I've got 20 minutes. Now fit it to that, and we can fit a workout to that. And I've got lots of tactics. I sometimes put some optional extras on that say, regularly, if you've got an extra 10 minutes, you can do that, but it's not mandatory. So short, high intensity workouts can be really effective. And again, a lot of people feel they have to go to a gym. If a gym works for you, I like gyms. I think it's because I've got 3 kids and I like to get out and it's my time. I listen to a podcast, listen to some music, and I train. I enjoy it. That's sort of my hobby. If you like the gym and the gym is convenient and close by, I would always advise that being the case, then gyms are brilliant. But if not, don't feel, I'm going to get in shape, but I can't join a gym. There's so many other things you can do in the home, outdoors. In the home, you can do it with no investment. You can do body weight style stuff for minimal investment, things like resistance bands for about 20 quid for a decent set of flat and tubular ones. You can do at least half of what you can do in a gym. So whatever, again, simplify it, make it work for you. And if that's home body workouts, fine. If that's going out in your garden over the summer and doing something, then that's fine too. But be perfect, be imperfect. Right, it's got to integrate into your everyday activities. And again, this is sort of moving on from what I've just said about simplifying it, but so many people say, oh, you have to get to the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week. And then when they can't, well, what's the point? Trust me, if you go twice a week, that is better, or you work out twice a week, that is better than not doing any. The flip side to that is, and I say this a lot with my clients, because when they come to me, one of the first questions I ask is, how often can you work out and for what duration? It's not a trick question, but I want to see where they are. Because if someone says, I can work out for 5 minutes once a week, although I can help on the nutrition side, I'm going to probably say, well, I think you could show a bit more commitment than that. Maybe we can do 2 for 20 minutes. Is that feasible? But other clients will say things like, yeah, I can work out whatever you tell me in 7 days a week for 2 hours. And obviously I would never ask someone to do that. 7 days a week, no rest days. No, that's not something we do. And likewise, 2 hours is not needed. But then someone might say, I can do 4 or 5 times a week for 45 minutes. Great. But if you can't do that consistently, in some ways it's better to build up routines. So if someone says to me I can do 4 days a week, 45 minutes, but in reality they can do 3 days a week for half an hour, I'd rather them tell me they can do 3 days a week for half an hour, because in that way we build up consistently, we build up routine. The way most people's minds work is, if they say they're going to do 5 for 45 and they only do 3, they will see that as a loss. And the mindset plays a big part in health and fitness. Someone who says, right, I can do 3 days a week for half an hour and does that will feel it as a win. So you're doing exactly the same, but it's a win or a loss. So find again what works for you. And again, there's ways when your schedule is busy, try and fit it around your activity. So I never used to be a morning person. I made myself a morning person 20 years ago when I used to work for a company. I used to be a manager in a company. I had to be there at a certain time. So I made it flow that I went to the gym before work. I had my shower there, got my suit on, into work, feeling refreshed and time. So making things flow is important. It's not the best idea to just say, right, well, I'll go whenever I get a chance, or I'll do something whenever I get a chance. That sometimes might be the case in days, but in the main, you want to schedule things. You want to have a plan and make it fit around you. And likewise, if you're not able to get workouts in, there's still things you can do. If you're on calls a lot during the day, maybe you schedule some calls, maybe they're not the highest priority ones, to have during your lunch break, and go for a walk. And most of us got mobile phones now, so talk and walk, or take the stairs when if you're in an office and there's a lift, start taking the stairs. Little things that you think don't really matter, but over months and years play a big part. So many people in car parks, they try and get right to the close. Park at the other side, have a walk across. When you come out, you have to walk back. If you're in England and it's raining, you might be a bit reluctant to do that, but there's loads of things that you can do. I pretty much spent my life doing this. I remember when I used to go to the pub quite a bit, the local pub to me. I used to run to the pub and run back. You find ways. So, and again, step count is important. I don't class step count as a workout. I count that as lifestyle. So look at your step count and then find ways to increase that. And we don't need to double it or triple it or anything like that. Trying to step it up, trying to step it up every month by maybe 500 steps a day or 2, whatever, is progression. And look to do that. It's a simple thing to do, and that might, like I say, just be by parking farther away when you go to the supermarket, or taking the stairs instead of the lift or escalator. There's lots of ways. Moving on, because I have gone past the half hour, as I didn't want to do, but I've done. Stress, rest, and recovery. So managing stress and getting recovery and resting is key, and unfortunately is massively overlooked. And the impact on your health and mental health, if you aren't managing stress the right way, and if you're not having rest and recovery, can seem minimal, but over time it builds up and it hits you. It hits you usually at the worst moment. So take into account that. And again, most people's, well, everybody has stress, and some stress is good, but how we manage that stress is important. And that might be through breathing, it might be through meditation, it might be through affirmation. There's so many different things, but you need to find how that helps you. I find myself that fitness manages my stress. When I used to be stressed in my younger years, I would reach for junk food, I would reach for alcohol. Now I've had some of my best gym sessions when I've been stressed out of my head, because the cortisol levels are high, but as that testosterone comes in, it pushes those cortisol levels down, gives them a kick in and gets them out of the way. Yes, it doesn't solve everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a gym session sorts all life's problems, but it helps. And it helps a lot more than turn into junk food, alcohol, drugs, pornography, sex, gambling. It's a habit that, if used as a stress reliever, it's powerful. And the negatives on it are very few and the positives are massive. So don't overlook managing stress. Quality of sleep is important, and I'm not going to go into too much depth, but sleep is super important for our bodies to repair, to recover the muscles, the cells, the brain, everything. And if we're not getting regular, adequate sleep, and this isn't, we all go out sometimes a weekend and we don't get enough sleep. Don't beat yourself up on that. But if you're getting week in, week out, really, really short amounts of sleep, or even verging on insomnia, it is a problem in terms of your health, your mindset, everything. There are ways, and I might do another live on this. There are ways to address that, but a powerful way is to set a go to bed time and a get up time. The body likes routine. The body and mind, they like things being the same, and doing that most of the time is powerful. So really do focus on your sleep. Again, I'm sort of mentioned this already, rest days are important, and overtraining is a real problem. I personally, because I've trained 30 years, I train 6 days a week. I have to stop myself on the 7th day. Although I do, because I enjoy it. It's my hobby, it's my time, it's my stress reliever. But I know that my body needs at least 1 day rest time. Most people, probably 2, even 3, they want to be having. And when I say a rest day, I don't mean you lie in bed all day or lie in the settee. Go out for a walk, do something, but you're not doing anything that would class as a workout or strenuous exercise. And rest time are needed because the muscle and other things need time to rest, repair, and recover. And again, warm up and cool down. That is part of ensuring recovery is correct, avoiding or reducing the risk of injuries. So doing a proper warm up before every workout, doing a correct cool down after every workout are important and should never be missed. And you see a lot of people in gyms and who don't do them, and you speak to them, oh, I've never been injured. Trust me, you might not have been injured yet. If you do not warm up, cool down, injuries will happen at some time. I've warmed up and cooled down for in excess of 25 years now, and touch wood, I've never had an injury that's kept me out for more than a week or 2, and nothing ever serious. So, alongside being well hydrated and other things, but I'm not saying that if you warm up and cool down, you're never going to get an injury, but it's like proactive. Be proactive. Let's reduce the risk of bad things happening. So that's tip 4. And tip 5 will be a quick one. I've sort of already covered it in the other tips, but the key is consistency. It's not about perfection. It's about doing the right things probably 80% of the time and being more relaxed 20% of the time. It's not about looking on social media and seeing these perfect bodies or these extreme transformations and think that should be me. I'm not doing enough. It's about small, consistent efforts that fit around you and your other priorities and that, because trust me, while you're on social media looking at something that might seem like a priority, but the rest of the time it's not. Your family's a priority, business is a priority, your health, your energy, how you feel, if you're happy. They are bigger priorities than how you look. And again, you can look great as well and fit it all into what we're saying, but don't let social media bring you down and think, oh, I'll never be like that no matter what I do. Trust me, it's not as glamorous as it seems. And just take small victories. Take them, celebrate them. It's important to do that. And motivation, well, I don't like people to rest on motivation, because motivation comes and goes with all of us. And if motivation is what is going to get you to work out or repeat certain things, then your days are going to be up and down, because motivation will be there sometimes, it won't others. Routine and habit is what does it. But again, throwing in victories and saying, I'm proud of myself this week. Oh yeah, I did this, I did that, I'm proud of myself, is key. And that's not just in health and fitness, that's in all aspects of life. Credit yourself when you do good things, when you help someone, when you do anything that's good or other people see it as good. take that victory and celebrate it. Right, as I said, I've gone way over. I need to do my timings better. Quick overview of Gym Wolf PT. Obviously, I've talked about my Imperfect Fitness. We're going to have a part 2. We might have a part 3 and even a part 4. We'll see. I do believe Gym Wolf PT, my company, does things differently. We work for you and we make it about you. Your goals and your schedule, your experience, what you like, dislike, that's what we're working to. We're not going to say, just do that, get on with it, don't want to hear your complaints. It's about fitting something that gets you to your goals that also fits you, your schedule, and everything about you. And that's what we do. And we realize that you are the star of the show. We're not the star of the show. We're the supporting act. And I believe we're very good at that. We should get Oscars for being the supporting act. But we're not the star of the show. The star of the show is you. Whoever we work with, they are a star of the show. Their goal is paramount. It's not our goal. Their goal is nothing like what we might consider a good goal for them. We might advise them, maybe we don't think it's realistic, or we don't think it's healthy. We'd always comment on that, but we are working to their goals. We're not working to what we feel they should have a goal of. That's not how we work. And we do it by having realistic, sustainable plans. Not the one fit all, not the you've got to do a gym session, you've got to do this, you've got to have this equipment. We do it sustainable, realistic to a person. Mentioned it a lot of times, we have a holistic approach, and by that I mean everything we do is healthy, everything we do is sustainable. We don't put you on fads, we don't put you on starvation things. We do things that are healthy for you, that are working to your goals, but will also benefit you in many other ways, which is probably the biggest part. I mean, most people's goals are shortish term, whereas being healthy as you grow older into your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that is priceless if you've got health in them years. And what we do in terms of nutrition and exercise, building muscles, strengthening bones, all these things will benefit you as you're older. We use evidence-based things. Fads, pills, the latest thing on the block is not what we go for. We go for evidence-based nutrition, but then we find a way to fit it for you. So again, it's not just, there you go, get on with this. We find out for your goal what is needed nutrition-wise, and then we find how we can fit that to you, your individual preferences on whatever. So if someone comes to me and says, right, I've got this goal, I love going out Friday, Saturday night, and we do have some drinks, and we do have a takeaway, or we do have a sit-down meal, and that's a non-negotiable. And we work around that. We completely work around that. Likewise, someone might say Wednesday night, cinema night, and we're going to have popcorn and pizza. Friday night's this. We work around that, and there's ways to do that. It's not an all or nothing thing, but we use evidence. We use evidence-based nutrition. We don't say, right, you're going out on Wednesday for cinema night, so we'll starve you Tuesday and Thursday. We don't do that. We are supportive. We have got lots of great clients. We have different groups. There's lots of support from me, from our community. There's lots of, in the app, you'll get so much support from me, but we have, like I say, a lot of groups where some of our clients are in, support each other, help each other. And you get the guidance, you get the coaching from someone who's coached, like say, over 2,000 people around the world, and you get the accountability, which is important to a lot of people. Again, I have different programs with varying levels of support and accountability, but it depends what you want. And if you want a lot of accountability, we can certainly give you that. As always, a lot of people in the thing, I'm not a big thing on transformations and things like that, because they only tell a picture. A lot of my clients, their goal isn't to get in amazing six-pack shape, it's to feel healthier and better. And how do you show that in a photo other than a smile? And again, the majority of my clients are on a private journey. You might know people who've worked with you without knowing, because they've probably never said, because the private people, usually in high level jobs or business owners, and they don't want to put it out there. This is for them. This is for them, their family, or just them, what they want. It's a personal goal. So they don't think, but I do like, some of my clients, they say, Ian, this is what I've achieved. So I put things out if people are happy for them to be done. And like I say, it's not all about weight loss. There's people on here who have just found the program brilliant in terms of energy, or brilliant in terms of muscle build, or brilliant in terms of feeling better and happier, or brilliant in terms of the health and overcoming an issue they had. And that means a lot to me as well. And I think I've just jumped past that. Yeah, there's another load on there, but I've got thousands of these, but it's, again, they are what they are. So how can you get more involved in Jim Wolf PT? Depends what you want. You can follow us on social media. You see us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X, or even on TikTok, but you won't catch me dancing on there. You can visit our website, jimwolfpt.com, which is currently still being leveled up. And what I mean by that is we're working hard to make this the perfect website. I shouldn't say perfect. Should we say nearly perfect site? Because I can't do a live about imperfect and then call it perfect. But we've been working on this website so long. We're building a community in there. It's gonna have everything. So it's just got a holding page at the moment, but it'll be ready soon. So visit our website. If you want to book a call personally with me, I do some call events on certain days where we have a chat about fitness, one-to-one, free of charge. I'll give you as much guidance as I can. There'll be lots of advice for you there. And then if you wanted to talk about programs, we can. If not, you've got advice that you can put into action. So I do a lot of call days, but also if you want to book a quick 15-minute call, go onto my website when it's live, or in places like LinkedIn. If you go into my bio, there is a bit there to book a call. The slots are a bit limited because I'm doing a lot of different things. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find some. And if you want to email me, ian@jimwolfpt.com, feel free to email me anytime. We also have a weekly newsletter called the Sunday 5, short, less than 5-minute read. Comes to you every Sunday, 10:30. Obviously completely free of charge. Loads of health, fitness, resources, tips, everything in there, mindset stuff. If you're not already subscribed, join the 5,000 other people who are. Again, there'll be a link to that on the new website, but if you go into the bios of LinkedIn and most of my social medias, you'll find it there. If not, email me, I'll send you a link. So yeah, thank you for spending the time listening to my live, watching my live. I'm grateful to have you here. I'm grateful to have your support. And if you do have any questions, please feel free. Fire them over to me. I need to check. It's the first time I've done this for a while. I don't seem to have any come through on here. I think they've come through on the other social medias. My phone's been bleeping a lot. So if I haven't answered your questions well since I was on, which I obviously haven't, I'll get back to you. But if you do have any questions, just contact me on social media. Just send me an email at ian@jimwolfpt, and I'm happy to talk anything health, fitness, mindset. If I can help you, I will. So ask away question-wise. I like to help. I'm here. So please do that. And again, 20 minutes over I've run. I'm probably going to have to change it to either an hour or really get my act together. So thank you for spending your time listening to me, and have a great Wednesday. See you later, guys.